Awesome. Welcome, welcome, everybody. I am so excited to not only open up this session of our network acceleration, but welcome in these powerful, amazing entrepreneurs into this space to give them a chance to not only put their spotlight on today and share a little bit of their secret sauces, but to also network, not only with those in the room, but those that are inside of our phenomenal Facebook group. But before we get started, I did want to lead you in on a little secret. We are taking the Badass Entrepreneurial Network. Now, those of you that are in here, don't think you got to switch things up. Stay right where you are. And we are elevating it into the Prowess Network. And the reason why we are doing these things is we have noticed that there's quite a bit of badass out there, which is phenomenal. But here in this room, we do things differently. We elevate, we expand, we go even bigger than that. So we felt that the brand expansion of the Prowess Network really truly defined those that are showing up in the changemaker space, showing up with their courageous efforts, their passion-driven purposes, and really wanted to give truth back to you as these stellar entrepreneurs that are showing up. So if you're already in the group, stay right where you are. It will convert right over. If you've seen some brand changing, that's because we're doing the transition. And if there are other people that you feel that will qualify this space and amplify this space, by all means, please feel free to share and invite them. So I simply wanted to give a heads up for that. But now we are going to get started today with these amazing souls that are in this space with round one. And in round one, you're going to share with us 30 to 60 seconds of who you are and where you're from. And if you've got a quick little hook or a tagline to get us excited about your next round, we would love to hear that. And so, Miss Adrienne, am I saying that correctly? Wonderful. If you would take off your mute, my dear, since you're at the top of my screen, I would love to start with you.
All right, sounds good. Thank you for having me. My name is Adrienne Tichy. I'm a recovery advocate living in Delray Beach, Florida. That is, love my home, love to travel, but I wouldn't live anywhere else. And we, in addition, recovery advocate is a very umbrella term, but we actually have in-person recovery residence community for 15 men just out of treatment for drug addiction. And then we also do a Recovery Comes Home program, which is virtual and in-person case management to get you to that year sober.
Ooh, look at that. We love it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Adrienne. That was amazing. And now, Mr. Terry Linde, I would absolutely love to get to hear your platform. You've got the stage.
Hey, hello, I'm Terry Linde. I'm owner of Destiny Management and been in the health and fitness industry for quite a few years now. I'm mainly a health and fitness coach, and our goal is to educate a person and help teach them what their body is giving them feedback on, and how to fit fitness and nutrition into their lifestyle without having to turn their lives upside down and make it work for them, and help them lead a higher quality life and increase their longevity.
Magnificent. And Terry, where are you located, my dear?
I'm sorry, in Welton, Arizona.
Welton, Arizona. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Miss Leslie, third time's the charm, girl. Let's bring you on stage. Give that amazing spotlight and hear a little bit about you, who you are, where you're from, and even a little hook, if you wouldn't mind sharing.
Yeah, so hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me today. Nice to meet all of you. My name is Leslie Gaudet, and currently I am residing in Playa del Carmen, Mexico for a few months. So my husband and we have moved around many times, so that's a long story for another time. But yeah, I am a self-care strategist. I work with female entrepreneurs, helping them to turn that constant stress and overwhelm into clarity and calm. So that they have that quality of life, not only personally, but in business as well.
Ooh, this is going to be a hot big discussion.
Right? And where were you all 10 years ago for me? Because I'll be calling all y'all up.
I absolutely love it. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. As we're jumping into round two, if there's something that resonates with you, or you're like, oh boy, I got to hear this, as well as those that are watching the recording, do not hesitate to put in the individual that you'd like to reach out to inside of the chat in the Facebook group specifically. The one inside of our recording doesn't transfer over, so make sure that you connect inside of that Facebook group. But I'm going to turn round two.
Oh, before that, Amy, though, I just realized we didn't get to introduce you. So can you do your 30 seconds and then I'll do mine, and maybe Stevie will be there by that time too.
Absolutely. I would be honored to, by all means. So I am Amy Maikoski, and I am a quantum catalyst and transformational facilitator of freedom, fulfillment, and flow. And I work with individuals, organizations, and corporations on untapping and unleashing their infinite potential within. And so I'm over here in Tampa, Florida. I know where Delray Beach is, not all so far. And I agree on the Florida thing. I've been here for about 30 years, so I'm getting the itch to go a little further north, but not too much. I was born and raised in Michigan. So
Oh, okay. I'm getting the itch to go further south.
Well, I'm way up north. I'm Michelle Boshard. Call myself a natural entrepreneur. I'm a digital doula. I help people craft their online offers and build the tech to support them. So I'm on the west coast. I'm the left side of Canada, way on the coast, on the little island off of Vancouver Island. And yeah, so you're always welcome up north.
Awesome.
And
awesome.
Steve, our third co-host isn't here yet, but Stevie Marie, the founder of the Redesigned Empire, is also up here in Canada. She's a couple of provinces over, kind of in the middle, and she's in Taber, Alberta. So hopefully she'll be joining us here shortly. Amy,
Yes,
I've got the 3 questions here I can draw.
Do you? You got it. That would be magnificent. I would love that. And so for round two, you're going to get, since we've only got 3 people in the room, usually we leave it at about 3 minutes. But if for some reason you're in flow, I'm just going to turn the timer off and let you go to about 4 or 5. If we've got some magic that's going on in here, because we've got the room, thank heavens, today. And so we're super excited. We don't question those kinds of miracles, and we'll love the opportunity that's given. But you will be invited basically to share with us, why are you excited to be here? How can we support you based on what you've seen inside of the Facebook group? What is your passion-driven purpose? What is your mind-blowing solution that you offer? And what's the secret sauce that sets you apart from all these other millions of coaches and entrepreneurs that hold this space? And so if we can, I'm going to throw Stevie in the hot seat. Hold on, let her come in.
Right
Before we start round 2.
And ready and hi, Stevie.
Stevie, we welcomed you and we gave a general, but we were not you. So if you would like to give your 30 to 60-second intro before we start round 2, I would love to give you the stage, Queen.
Thank you. My apologies for being a couple moments behind. I had to unexpectedly go pick up my son from daycare. He does suffer from asthma, some respiratory issues, right? So I thank you so much for still having me in this space. Just thrown on the spot. Welcome. Thank you for everybody here. My name is Stevie. Stevie Marie is how I'm branding. I've been divorced twice, so there's no last names attached to me anymore. It's just Stevie Marie. I reside in Taber, Alberta, Canada. I'm from corn capital of Canada, actually. And what else are we doing? Sorry.
Just your title now. She's the founder of Redesigned Empire. Yeah.
Yes.
And I am the founder of the Redesigned Empire. I've got 20 years of experience in sales and leadership development, and I've been coaching full time now for 5 years. Digital entrepreneurs, and yeah, that's who I am in a nutshell, I guess. Hi.
Love
We're
it.
gonna get
Thank
into
you.
it here.
I figured if anybody could handle the fire, Stevie, it would be you, darling. So you did a phenomenal job. We appreciate you. We're going to jump into round 2. So Miss Adrienne, it's your turn to shine, my dear. And so let me grab.
I've got the timer.
You've got the timer already. Magnificent. Let's go.
All right. So do I just go through the questions
However,
straight
In
up?
any order you want.
Any order I want. Okay, well, first I'll say why I'm excited about being here. I think the stars have aligned and I finally got time in my schedule as my phone's ringing. We all know the entrepreneurial shuffle, don't we? Yeah, so I'm really excited that I had time today. I was at a doctor's appointment earlier, so I'm really excited to meet you all and learn a lot more about you and your business, and I'm all about collaboration. My passion-driven purpose is connecting families impacted by addiction as they heal together. Almost everybody knows what fentanyl is, but very few people know what to do when addiction hits their door. They don't know who to call, who to trust. It's their baby. Many times they're sending them 1,500 miles away. It's a very broken system, and I'm not under no illusions that I can fix it myself, but I am grabbing people as I can, as I come across them in my business world or in my day-to-day living, and say, hey, you're part of the A team. You know, I want to create something called the Recovery Integrity Network, because there is a lot of shadiness in our business. The mind-blowing solution that we offer the world is we get you to a year recovery. Most people that get to treatment and understand that only 11% of the people who need treatment actually ever find it. Most can't afford treatment. So a very small percentage of people that need help are actually finding it. And then those that actually go to the treatment center, it's a 28-day stay that does very minimal. So we provide the housing afterwards to get you, the minimum commitment is 6 months, but most people stay, like I said, a year to 18 months to get that year under their belt, because with that, they have an 85% chance of remaining in recovery long term. If they don't make it to that year, it drops to less than 15%. And it's an epidemic that's taking over our country. It's not just substances, it's food, it's shopping, it's gambling, it's screen time, it's gaming. 50-year-old men, their families are leaving them because dad's built a whole nother family down in the basement called Call of Duty, and everybody else is waiting for him upstairs at the dinner table. So what's the secret sauce that sets us apart? As I mentioned earlier, I'm passionate about connecting families impacted by addiction, because it is a family disease. And, you know, you can't just take someone out of their normal life, put them in a medical situation for 28 days, put them back home and expect that everything's fine. The family is affected, you know, they have issues that they need to work through as well. It's a little bit harder to get them to do that because they're like, it's not my problem. I don't have the drug problem. But once we get them to see that really, if we can connect them as a family, they have a much better chance of success. So that's me.
That is amazing. Adrienne, can you tell us a little bit, just give us just, we've got only 3 people here, so we've got a little, maybe another minute or 2 we can give you here. Can you tell us how you mentioned like in-person facility-based stuff? How do you serve your clients, and how do you serve them online specifically? Where can people get the information about where you are at?
Sure. So Recovery Comes Home is our virtual program. It's a 12-month program that has very specific things on it. We work on things like addressing your own self-care, because as much as mothers want to give their lifeblood for their children, they can't fill from an empty cup. And that's really important to us, to make sure that we're servicing our clients' families so that they can be there for their children, because up until now it's been like this, right? We get to be a buffer and help that communication grow. And it's, it's awkward in the beginning because they've been at it and said horrible things to each other, but so the virtual looks like Monday through Friday meditation, a one-on-one call with each client a week to do a deep dive. Then we have 2 calls with the family and their whole entire team, psychiatrist, psychologist, case manager, sober coach, family, step family, everybody, right? Are we on the same page? And then if we're
Amazing.
not, how do we get there?
That's amazing. Thank you so much for being here today, for the profound work you do. And yeah, you're right. It is an epidemic and it's everywhere. I'm sure all of us know somebody or know somebody who knows somebody who's affected by this issue. So thank you for that work in that field. Awesome. Okay, well, Terry, I'm going to go to you next and ask you I'm going to set the dinger here for 5 minutes for you. And but tell us all about your amazing offer, your health and diet and fitness offer. I'm excited to hear this.
I'm excited to be here and network with other entrepreneurs. Mainly what I enjoy is helping people lead a higher quality life. And the best example I have is most people that want to come to me want weight loss. Initially, and we had one client way back that was working out, following a nutrition program, and after a few weeks, her scale weight was actually up higher than what she had started with. But when we did body composition testing, it was because of muscle and not fat. And then a couple weeks later, she came in so excited. She was disappointed at the time because she hadn't lost the weight, but she came in so excited a couple weeks later and said, I was finally able to get out of our boat by myself, which to me just means the power of enough strength and muscle, lean body mass to be able to function how they want to in life. And that's kind of what the whole program is about, just helping people lead a higher quality of life. It's not a matter of one set program, one set nutrition program. Everything is customized for a person, and it's up to their individual bodies how they respond. And we want to educate a person on that so that they continue it for the rest of their life. So if they have bad knees, back, shoulders, whatever it might be, they know what adjustments to make. They know when to push harder when their body can handle it and when to step back and need more recovery. And your body gives you all of these signals all of the time, but it's tough to know what your body's trying to say unless you have the education, the tools, the resources behind it. So that's basically our differentiation is we're trying to educate a person on giving them those tools and resources so that they can keep making progress and lead the life that they want to.
That's amazing. And so you do this in person, one-on-one, or do you have group, or how do you?
No, we can accommodate a lot of different situations, but most of it is virtual. So we do sessions like what we're doing now, if a person needs it. We have a fitness app that we work with. It has video demonstrations of exercises, allows them to detail what they're eating, take pictures of their food, determine how many calories per day, all that kind of information, and courses that give them the tools and the resources, education material via webinars and downloads and such to put the whole program together. So kind of combination of everything.
That's smoking. Like, where can people find this?
Should I put that in the chat?
Yeah, you can do that. And actually, we'll invite all of you as well afterwards to make sure that you drop your contact links. And for those of you who are watching on replay, make sure that you say, like hashtag @Terry and @Leslie and @Adrienne or @Amy, Michelle, and Stevie to connect with anybody that you see in the chat here. And engage in the Facebook comments so that we can build some collaborations here. So that's amazing, Terry. You've got a fair chunk of time left if you'd like to say anything else, and if not,
well,
we can.
I have one thing for Adrienne if she's interested. We do have a blog page that has a ton of addiction resources. So if you'd like to send me any information about your program and your links, I'd be glad to add that to the page. And main website is Destiny MGMT, so the abbreviation for management.com. So destinymanagement.com.
That's amazing. Thank you for this gift. It's
Thank you.
our you know, our bodies tell us, and it's sort of like the universe when it tells us things, right? First it whispers, and then it speaks, and then it shouts, and then it clobbers you. So I love how you help people bring their attention to their bodies, and I'm sure that that really helps entrepreneurs that would be watching as well to be able to be healthier and manage your businesses better. So thank you so much for being here today and for
Thanks
being
for
a
having
resource
me.
in the Prowess community. That's awesome. Oh, good. Okay, Leslie, I am looking forward to hearing your self-care strategy because I got some self-care I need to do. So let's have at it. Let's hear your beautiful self.
Thank you so much. Adrienne and
Thanks,
Terry, thank you for your shares. Beautiful. I love what you both are doing, and I think it's important. Especially I had a younger brother who died in September 23, who was an alcoholic for over 30 years. So I wish I'd known you then. Maybe that could have helped save his life, helped our family. So thank you so much for both what you're doing. So yes, I am a self-care strategist. I'm excited. First of all, I'm excited to be a part of this and also part of the community because I'm all about community. Community is a self-care tool, by the way, just in case anyone hasn't told you that yet, because that is where you have support, encouragement, inspiration. You know, that to me, self-care is huge. For self-care is huge to have community. That's where you're going to find people who sound like you, who've been through things that are similar to what you've been through. You can get that support. Don't feel you're going through life alone, because a lot of the time we think what we're in is we're going through it alone. So I just wanted to put that out there. My passion-driven purpose. Well, first of all, I want to make self-care a household name, not just for like women in business who I work with, but I want it to be a household name where moms and dads and kids are sitting around having their maybe weekly table talk where they're talking about life in general and what it looks like for them to have a healthy whole life, and making sure that self-care is part of it. So making sure they're talking about journaling out your thoughts so you don't feel like you're, you know, having this mental picture that you can't get rid of, but maybe then you can have that conversation around the dinner table with your parents, helping our parents foster young, healthy adults that go out into the world who do the same, like on repeat, so trickling down. So that is like one of my passion-driven purposes. My solution that I offer the world, so as I said, I work with female entrepreneurs, is really around stress and burnout. I have lived this experience, not only emotionally, which was a recent experience, but professionally. I've talked to several women that it's a professional phenomenon that's going around the world. It's becoming too much of the norm. I want it to become more of a conversation that we have to support each other. So how I do that with the women that I work with is through my Whole Soul Blueprint is my program. And it's really to take you through steps to really become from that first stage of really learning to learn about yourself, to learn about how you think, you feel, to learn to love yourself, so that any of the next steps that come along into that process, you're building on things. So you're stacking on all the goodness. You're not starting at, you know, the third level and you haven't dealt with all these emotional traumas or things that from your past that are keeping you stuck. So I really not only work through that piece, I feel like mindset and emotional awareness, which is where I started in my coaching back in December of 2018. I feel like that is so important to bring that into the mix to help start there, get you healthy there, and then everything else, which is about clarity and confidence, time and energy management, very important. Know what's on your calendar, because your calendar can be your friend or your foe. It really can. I know, because I've been there many times having to fight with myself about what goes on my calendar. And when you have clarity, your calendar can become your friend because you actually know what goes on it. So that's for me, how I really want to be able to help support women is that holistic approach the entire way, making sure that you have self-care in your business, making sure that you learn how to say no, you learn how to prioritize you learn how to have a hard stop. You're not working all the time. You learn to make sure that you prioritize family, and fun time, and the quality of sleep, because again, all of those things, if you don't, you're not going to have the life that you want to live. So that is really why I do what I do. My secret sauce is really that I've lived the experience, so I can totally relate. I talk about it all the time. My messaging is around that consistently because I want to educate and get this conversation at the table, around families' tables, so that they're not worrying about not having tools in place to help support them, that they don't have children that are going off into college, or they're going off to college and now they have emotional burnout that they're dealing with. They're having burnout from all of the things that are going on in school, and then they go from there into a job, and then they have professional burnout because they're working all the time and they don't know how to prioritize themselves. They don't know how to say no. They don't know how to say yes to the right things. They don't have a hard stop. They don't prioritize taking breaks and taking care of themselves. Like Terry, you understand too, right? The health part is, the exercising part is so good for you. The endorphins, you understand that nutrition is important because you want to fuel the mind and the body when you are working, and you don't want to be eating the fast foods and trying to work. You want to make sure that you are prioritizing rest, whether that's the breaks through the day. You want to also prioritize sleep, because again, you want to wake up tomorrow energized and focused. So I really, really focus a lot on talking about when you're feeling exhausted, when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you feel you're stuck in that same cycle, especially if it's a cycle of burnout, and you're missing out on life's important moments because you feel like the only way you're going to have time is when you have the money, when it's really, the last thing is I just want to say is that using your time well is going to help you have that time freedom. So thanks so much.
I love, no, like literally love what you do. I'm going to introduce our other co-hosts here, but I just want to say, as a mom of a now just about to turn 20-year-old guy who's on the autism spectrum and nonverbal and self-injurious, burnout is a thing and self-care is a thing. And so I really deeply appreciate what you do. Thank you so much for being here, for sharing that with people. I am going to call on my beautiful co-hosts, though, and also ask them to share their 5 minutes worth. Stevie Marie, can we start with you, please? Would you mind giving us 5 minutes of your gloriousness?
Sure. All right. Well, thank you for letting me share. Okay, passion-driven purpose. I really do believe it is our responsibility as new age digital leaders and influencers, healers, and teachers to come together to create community and collaborate with each other with the end vision in mind that we actually elevate the frequency within humanity. By doing so and leading by example, we'll empower and inspire people to come back to source energy, God energy, creation energy, however we would like to label that. But we're returning people back to love, the discovery of self. And with that intention and collaboration, we can definitely create some massive shifting within nations, communities, and families. I think there's been enough pain through generations to generation to generation to generation, and it's time for the people that have been burdened with the mission of enlightenment. It's an honor and a privilege, baby, but she's a burden. Don't kid yourself, right? The burden of enlightenment of humanity, and that's the mission, and the mission is so big that I personally can't fulfill that mission on my own. I need people like Michelle, Leslie, Terry, Amy, Adrienne, right? We need to come together and have a common driving reason as to why we choose to keep going, not why we started, but why we choose to keep going. So that is my passion-driven purpose, a little bit of my vision and mission in there as well. Another thing, I personally love the internet. I love it. It's a tool of abundance and connection. It has the ability to set people free, to connect with fine folks like yourself within seconds. We wouldn't have the ability to do this 30 years ago. I'm a millennial, by the way, so I've been on Facebook since I've been 17 years old. But all those big gurus, right? Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, Oprah Winfrey, all of these people created such a significant impact prior to the internet simply because they were likable. And again, the whole healing journey and the transitioning of taking people off a pedestal and putting yourself on one, perhaps for the first time in your life, will create a magnetizing effect of empowerment and influence. I'm big on influence, but not the buy my shit kind, excuse me, right? Because with leadership comes significant responsibility of leadership. And that is definitely one of my core values. How can we lead others if we're unwilling to lead ourselves? So I believe one of the best business practices is leading by example and embodying that type of person that you wish to experience, per se. My mind-blowing solution that I currently offer right now, I have the Redesigned Empire. So it's funny because my business has healed me significantly. It has healed me so much in the last 5 years of its baby creation. And I've had the opportunity and the honor to coach around 2,000 people in the last 5 years in multiple different areas. And the problem with the industry of coaching is that it's overpriced for the grand scheme of all things. A lot of people's offers are not overpriced, or they are overpriced, right? I also believe that when we're serving from a place of good intention, that whatever we give, we will receive tenfold. And I also believe money is abundant. So with that being said, most people that are starting the entrepreneurial journey, because we need to get people on the internet, we have to get them on here because again, there's money everywhere to be made in connection and community. But in order for people to do that, we have to shift some of the foundations and the fundamentals of what they believe to be true. And people shouldn't be investing $30,000 to $50,000 into programs when we're at a baseline. They shouldn't be doing it. They'll go into financial stress. They'll sabotage their success because we just know how that works, right? So I created an ecosystem of a community that can easily afford the value that's coming out of here. Because I personally believe that whatever we're presenting, the value of that offer should be 10 times the investment of what people are paying. So with that being said, creating an offer that has the ability to serve many at a very affordable price because coaching is so incredibly beneficial. Mind-blowing solution that I offer the world. I don't believe in the niche. And I focus heavily around energetics and fundamental building blocks within coaching, because how we do one thing is how we do all things. The business is just a reflection of the owner anyway. And how it shows up in one area, it shows up in all areas of life. So awareness is knowledge. So yeah, my secret sauce that sets me apart. I hear this often from people. It's my energy. It's my empathy. It's my compassion.
Here you go.
It's my understanding, because I know the pain that this brings. And I know the pain from other things too, but I know the pain of entrepreneurship. So with that being said, suffering is only present. Hold on. Sorry. Suffering is only present when resistance is there. If there's no resistance, we're simply in discomfort. The best way for us to create the least amount of resistance as possible is to have clarity around our vision, our mission, and why we choose to keep going, not necessarily why we're starting. So thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. I kind of melt when I listen to Stevie. And Amy, would you mind giving us a roundup of your incredible offer as well? I'm going to put 5 minutes on here for you too.
Well, thank you. I very much appreciate that. First and foremost, I want to celebrate all of these amazing souls in this room. There is such a diverse group today that take so many different spectrums. But I think the most amazing part of all of it is that we are basically living our story by healing others who have that very similar story. And that's the power of entrepreneurship when it's done right, because it's not going against our true alignment. And I love that. And so in the nature of who I am and how I show up in life as a freedom, fulfillment, and flow catalyst and facilitator, I am dedicated to unlocking individuals' potential in basically any space that we do as human beings. And that's the power of what I do. I am a very multifaceted individual, have been in coaching, management, and executive performance for 27 years now. However, left corporate America 6 years ago to really go and drive into my passion full time and truly embrace this without the containers, without the input, without the feedback from other people that thought that they knew what Amy had to offer. And so now I am living in my fullness and loving what I do. Here at, I am the founder of Metamorphose Institute. And at Metamorphose Institute, we believe in the F3 way, which is that freedom, fulfillment, and flow. And so our focuses are to expand the human experience, to achieve quantum shifts. We all grow gradually in our life, but none of that is fun. Like, we want to be able to feel it and get excited about touching the uncomfortable and touching what's hard, to really be able to launch into this expansive space that without going in the inward journey, we have no idea the capacity of. And then third, thriving as a creator of our own reality with effortless living. Now sit in that one for a minute. When was the last time you felt that life was effortless for you? Yeah. Exactly. And so that's a lot of where the excitement comes from in my space. We focus on being. Doing is very important to establish new behaviors, new habits. We need the consistency and the repetition. But if we don't start with a focus of being, we miss everything else. Because we are not here to be part of the masses. We are not here to be part of that mediocre, life isn't meant to be hard. And so we start out with the focus of awareness and your inner knowing that all of the external world does not matter. It is none of your business what anybody else thinks of you. And for those people that are stuck in that space, they wonder why they have that discomfort, because you're giving permission to the wrong individuals who have no idea what you're capable of. And so really getting in, honing into that. Next, we jump into that higher power. What source are you feeding into? That's the first law of success, is what source are you listening to? So what is that higher power, that God, that whatever it is that you tap into? Have you reconnected with that in a while? And then next, taking that higher power into connection, like Leslie talked about. The power of proximity is so profound. Encircling yourself with people that aren't comfortable and don't go, oh, wow, Amy, you're the best. Wow, you're so good at everything that you do. What about my expansion? What about pushing me into the uncomfortable? What about saying, you know what, Amy, that didn't seem very aligned to you. So really tapping into the authentic nature and energy and vibration of all of that. And then finally, we go into simplification and release. Life is chaotic. It is overwhelming when we give it permission to be. Releasing what does not serve you is so powerful, because then all of a sudden we have room in our hands to accept and receive new. And when we can accept and receive new, we can retrain our subconscious. We can create new behaviors and habits that feed this thriving, effortless life. And we can take the final part of celebration and self-care to whole new levels. And so that's kind of the basics of what I get to touch for individuals, organizations, corporations, anybody that's human. So it's a whole lot of fun. Thank you so much.
I think you guys can see why I love working with Amy and Stevie. They're pretty badass. And they have a lot of prowess, which is why we're switching up and improving on that, because we move from a survival to success. And I think that is the culture of this group. That's what we're here to help you reach as well. I do that. I'll tell you a little bit about my offer. Start the timer for myself as well, and pull up the things, because I hardly ever actually follow the script. So I'm gonna actually try and maybe do that today. Okay, so I'm always excited to be here, and it's about connection for me. This group always supports me with new thoughts, new things, new resources, new energy, and a place to really connect with my potential clientele. I am a digital doula. I help people craft their online offers. So lived experience, passions, longtime skill sets, knowledge products of any sort. I help people go from, well, I don't know what I would even do, to their first sale in 8 weeks for my first program. I help people who already have their first sales, and they've been busy doing all the things, the A-type people who've been busy doing all the things, and maybe they've got a million softwares that they're coordinating, and they don't have time to do all the social media content, and they don't have time, like they're really getting away from the thing that they actually started to do because of all the admin. So I help them with my 12-week co-creator program, collapse all of that into a single, easy to use contact resource, a client relationship management CRM software system. Make sure that their offer ecosystem. I'm a natural entrepreneur. I'm a biologist by formal training, and business makes sense to me as an ecosystem, because I don't, just like a car engine has to have all the different parts working together, or you need, water, soil, plants, insects, and animals to all work together for the ecosystem function. I feel like business is an ecosystem, and our offers, our low tickets, our mid tickets, our high tickets, our lead magnets all have to work together in a system, and the tech has to support that, and it has to be designed around our life. And this is a thing that my son taught me, and our journey as a family supporting his autism has been a long one. And my daughter, who's now 16 going on 31, has had her own set of stuff. And Adrienne, I can connect with you about that, but it's been a challenge, and you have to design your life and your business around the priorities, around what's natural for you, and around your own inner self. You have to design it so that you are here as I believe we're here as spiritual beings living a human life, and a human existence, and that we have a purpose. Everyone has a gift. My son's nonverbal. He can't speak. He's frequently misunderstood. And I know that there's gifts inside of him. And I know that there's gifts in every client that I cross. And so what I love to do is help people just pull that. I also love to collect rocks as a kid. I love to go out in nature. I was a girl rock collector, and every single rock is a different beautiful gem. And people are like that too. So they each need their own tailor designed system to support them. And that's what I do. And the reason I got into this, I used to run a respite and homeschool care company for my son's care. And I also used to work for Canadian federal government supporting military veterans coming out of service. And I also used to be an organic farmer. And I also used to be a stewardship and environmental coordinator. So how do you get from all that to digital marketing agency and tech provider? I was looking for a bake sale to support the sadly underfunded supports for families of complex needs kids. And I did all the mama bear search when all the parents that my company was supporting, they were having a hard time paying. And I knew I needed that respite, and the burnout and the self-care, Leslie, that we talked about was hard. And when you're in that situation, sometimes you're in a situation where you can't, you have to quit your job to care. You have to, take care of these things, and money is short. So I wanted to become a social purpose enterprise where the funding that I raise and the revenues that I raise through my digital marketing agency is actually going towards supporting respite and homeschool services for complex needs families like mine. So that's sort of how because I went on a mama bear search. I did MLM and I did crypto and stocks and all the things. And one day I saw this, kid on TikTok with gold teeth driving a Lamborghini, and I thought, there is money and there's interwebs. Why is that? Why is it easier to order a pizza to my door than to get qualified complex needs care at an affordable price? And I just thought that wasn't right. And that's what I set out to do. So that's what I do. And I love helping people in all respects. Oh, look at me.
Thanks, Michelle.
Right? Okay. So that was round 2. Stevie Marie, I think you were willing to do round 3. And would you take it away? I'm so excited for this.
Absolutely. So again, you guys, thank you everyone so much for being here today and spending some of your time. I'm thrilled to be connected to all of you guys, and who knows what we can co-create together. So our last round, basically we're looking for one main word that's going to describe your experience here today. So prior to allowing for you to think about what that one word is going to be, that profound statement, I just want to let you guys know about what is to come. So we are giving everybody an opportunity to be a part of our beta launch at no charge right now, because it's all beta. But with that, you guys actually get to have a one-on-one interview with one of us ladies to just dive deeper into your story, your vision, your ecosystem, allow for people to have more intimacy with you and feel more of your energy. We'd love to present that opportunity for you guys if you'd like to take advantage of that. That will be posted for the whole entire community to see. As we continue moving forward, we're going to be having a directory. This is going to be a massive networking space. We have an affiliate program that's going to be coming out as well. So in the event prior to all of those wonderful back-end things being set up and we're ready to rock and roll, if you guys want to invite people to the community, invite them to the community. We'd love to, feature more fantastic, heart-centered, visionary leaders, teachers, and healers. Love to feature more of you guys in this really profound space. The space in this container is going to be very high energy. It's going to be very impactful and very, very impressionable. So I'd love to invite you guys to take advantage of that. We'd love to be able to support you. So with that being said, I'd love to hear the one word, your biggest impactful word today. You know what? I'm going to start with the other ladies first. Michelle, what's your word? I've never done that before. Really, they're like, what?
No, and I never got first before. Let's see. What is my word? I was so busy. I was enthralled listening to you. I would say, like, it's a sense of centeredness. Like, I feel like everyone here has a true purpose, maybe true purpose. And every one of you brought it today and everyone showed it today. And I just really appreciate you all for being here and for showing your heart to us. Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. That was a lovely word. Miss Amy, you're up next.
I am going to say driver.
Ooh.
Somebody talked about, why do we get up and go every day? Why do we get up and push through this? Why do we get up and touch what might have been really hard the last day? Why do we get up and show up on the way we do? So driver, I can see in each and every one of you that are in this room that is very clear, that there is no question or doubt in any of your hearts, in your minds, and in your souls why you do and how you show up the way you do. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Amy. Okay. Adrienne, what's your one impactful word?
Okay, so I really am a serious person, but today, for some reason, I'm thinking supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
It's hilarious.
Love it. How do you spell
Because
that? No, I'm just
And what does that word mean for you today?
even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, it's a happy word. I think, what I noticed too was that everybody does put their heart here into their business, and being an entrepreneur can be a lonely journey, and especially when you do something that's really serious, you know. So you have to make time not only for self-care but for play, especially in, you know, when you're doing really heavy work.
100%.
Yeah,
That
protect
was like
yourself.
profoundly fun.
Mhm.
That's
That
it.
should be a top priority. Like,
Yeah,
well, because I heard this wonderful quote, right? Like, the founder of the business is the biggest asset, and you know, they're also the biggest risk and liability
yeah.
at the same time. So we can't have founders and CEO mindsets going to
In the
the
loop.
swamp.
Right,
I
to
don't
the
know.
swamp. They
I don't
already
know.
have enough of those. We need them over here.
Hey,
I'm from
let's farm the
Canada.
swamps.
I
No, I'm
don't.
just kidding.
I don't see alligators, and if I did, I'd be out of my environment for
Oh, you
sure.
need to come visit me.
I have one in my backyard this morning. Stevie, come over.
Yeah.
I'm like, ah. Yeah, I'm very Canadian. But
Yeah.
the geese, don't kid yourself. Stay away from them. Awesome. Thank you, Adrienne. I love that. And I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for your
Yeah.
time and your love and purpose today. Awesome. All right, Terry, what's your one purpose-driven, impactful word today?
I guess I would say synergy, as we're all
Ooh, that's a
helping
good
each other elevate ourselves, even though it's
Mhm.
ultimately up to ourselves, working with other people and taking it to a higher level.
I love
That was a good one.
That's a good one. I love that word in general. Thank you so much for that, Terry, and thank you for being here. And then Miss Leslie, what is your impactful word of the day?
Yeah, so for me today, it was really the word that came to me is inspired, because what I love is that each and every person in here has something that they're really making impact in the world. And it inspires me because it shows me that there are people out there who really deeply care about other people. And they're willing to do the work, get into the trenches with you in order for you to have that transformation that you're looking for. So yeah, inspired for me today.
Yay.
Awesome. Thank you, Leslie. I appreciate your input as well. Mine would be empathy today. I feel there's a lot of heart-rooted movement as to why everyone's doing what they're doing here. I can literally feel the personal connection, you know, like make it personal, you know, make it personal. Let some of those things like, you know, just drive you, make it personal. So empathy is my word. So thank you all so much for being here today. So with your one-on-one interviews, if you guys choose to take advantage of that, you guys will receive an email with an invitation for you guys to go ahead and book that. And you'll book it in either Michelle, Amy, or myself's calendar, whatever works best for you guys. So incredibly excited to be diving deeper into getting to know who you guys are, why you're doing what you're doing, why you're going to continue to do what you're doing, and of course, how we can further support you within the Prowess network, because everyone here has some fighting hunter energy to them. So thank you so much. Those are my closing words. It was an honor to be here with everybody. Michelle, Amy, anything else from you guys today?
I was just going to say thank you so much for being here, for getting to know us and each other. And yeah, I'm really, really honored to have you here in the Prowess Network, and we will draw on you as resource people. This is the kind of place that we wanted to build was, oh, right, Adrienne does that. We can, you know, send people here, and that old fashioned kind of old timey networking stuff that now can happen online. We can send it anywhere. So thanks for being here. Amy?
Absolutely. I was simply going to say 80% is showing up.
Yeah.
And you all not only have shown up for yourselves, but shown up for others. And so I honor you, I celebrate you, and I'm supporting you. I'm here to, like Michelle said, create this phenomenal space, this community that we can empower and create phenomenal impact on humanity that is badly in need of people that genuinely care. And that shows in this room. And I'm grateful for all of you. Make your beautiful weekend. I think we've got a lot of Americanas as well as we have Canadians. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend. Be safe and self-support you first and foremost. We can only serve from our overflow. Be good to yourselves, and we'll chat soon.
Thank you guys.
Love you all.
Bye.
Bye.